Hello, and welcome back to Soul Refresh, y'all. Okay, I know it's been a while, haven't seen me, all that other stuff. We will address that later on in the video. Let's get to the intro because we probably got some new folks here. If y'all do not know, my name is Trinity. Y'all could just call me Trini. And I will be your host for this podcast. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna just dive into it, y'all. But first, let me introduce the podcast too. Oh, yeah, y'all can tell that I haven't done this in a while. Here on Soul Refresh, we are all about faith, love, and laughter, and we're all about faith. We love God. Without further ado, y'all, let's just get into it. All right, I know y'all probably wondering, Trinity, where you been? Hey, you're not uploading. I know. We have two reasons. The first reason is like the minor one. I've been in school. If y'all do not know, I go to college. I am a music major, and if any musicians out there know that, it's very demanding, with homework and all that other stuff. I've been quite busy. So with that, that's what's been happening. And then the topic of this episode, number 2, I'm not going to lie. I've been procrastinating. I know. I've been procrastinating and kind of low-key forgot. And just, I haven't had an upload schedule. And this kind of ties into, transition into the topic of the episode. And yeah, I've been saying that I wanted to do it. So why haven't I? And that's the episode. No, for real. I recently have gotten called out, lovingly, of course. And they said, you keep saying you're going to do all these things, but I haven't seen you actually do them. And y'all, when that person said that, I low-key I got hurt. I was like, dang, okay. I mean, yeah, to come from me like that. But no, yeah. But in all honesty, it was the truth. I needed to hear that because I've been saying all these things that I wanted God to do for me, but I haven't been doing them. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit up here in front like that did not hurt. That hurt my soul. I'm not going to hold you. I almost wanted to cry. But, I put on my big girl pants and I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. But I did have to kind of sit with it because, I had to think back. I'm like, oh, man, I'm not even going to lie. You are right. I've been saying that I wanted so much for my career, mainly my career. I wanted so much as far as, something to do with my life. And I haven't been consistent. I haven't been doing that. And I know a lot of us feel like that, A lot of us have been saying, oh, I want to be consistent with X, Y, and Z, or I want to post more, about a certain thing or all this other stuff, and I'm going to be more disciplined, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, da, 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 da. If I'm going to be honest, that was me. And I've been talking more than I've been moving. I've been saying all these things that I wanted to do, but I haven't been taking the action to do those things, to get closer to the step that I wanted to do. And y'all, I immediately thought of the scripture, James 2:17. I immediately thought of how faith without works is dead, y'all. Oh my goodness. I've been thinking about that a lot. And just like thinking of how we can have so much faith. And it is good to have faith in God. He wants us to have faith. But he also wants us to do the work. Because if we just sit back and be like, oh yeah, God handle it. What, like, what is the purpose of us? If that makes sense. And I had to honestly sit back and I'm just like, ooh, am I doing that spiritually too? Like, am I, not taking the steps of what God has called me to do? You know, I've been saying a lot like, Lord, I want to believe in you with my career, my finances. I'm going to trust you. I've been saying that I want to trust you. But once again, like I said, I haven't been actually moving on what the Lord has told me to do. You know? And I think sometimes also we blame a lot on lovingly, we blame a lot on just, oh, I'm just going to wait on God. Or sometimes, oh, it's just spiritual warfare. I'm just going to sit back and just let God do that. And sometimes that looks like disobedience. It's not discipline of just sitting back and just, not doing the work because we're going to wait on God. And don't get me wrong, waiting on the Lord is so important. But there's a difference between waiting on the Lord and just completely just not doing nothing. Because in the season of waiting, we should be preparing. In the season of waiting, we should be getting our armor ready. We should be getting our tools ready. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes God, and this is another thing too, while we're waiting, sometimes God, we're already out of that season of waiting and God has already told us to do what we need to do, but it's us. It's us. He's sitting back and being like, I already gave you the tools. I already gave you everything to do. Go and do it. Go start it. Go start that business. Go start that thing. Go get yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it could be hard too. I'm not going to sit up here and it was hard to get back into podcasting. It was hard to get in front of this mic. I had to take a good couple of seconds to remind myself how to set up and everything. Y'all, it was a struggle. I'm not even gonna hold you. It was a struggle setting this up. But I took that first action and being uncomfortable and starting it up, because sometimes uncomfortability will make us grow. For me, I know posting consistently is so uncomfortable. Being seen, oh my goodness, y'all. I know this is kind of contradictory because I do a podcast, but it's uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable to start. Pray y'all did not hear that notification. Anyway, and actually doing something that God has called you to do, and sometimes we don't even see it. Oh my God. Y'all, it is so uncomfortable. But y'all, I say this with love. Obedience is not always led with convenience. Sometimes obedience is just being like, Lord, okay, I'm gonna do this. This is out of my comfort zone, but I trust you more enough. I trust you more enough than my pride. I'm going to lay my pride aside and I'm going to do what you have called me to do. And this is the main takeaway that I had to learn, and something that really convicted me is that delayed obedience is still disobedience. Knowing that God has called you for a certain thing. God has called you to do something. And you're sitting there and you know what to do and you know how to do it. It's still disobedience. It's still saying, God, I know what you want me to do. I know what I got to do. I know how to do it. I just don't want to do it because I'm going to do it later. Still disobedience. And I'm not going to come on here and be like, oh, y'all are, no. Because I had to check myself. One thing about one thing about this podcast, I'm not going to talk about something if I have not experienced, because I had to go through that too. There are a lot of things in my life that I had missed out on because I had delayed disobedience. I told myself, oh, I'm not going to do that now. There's going to be more opportunities. And that opportunity never came. That opportunity I had missed. And the Lord told me, I told you to do it right then and there, but you did not do it. And I had to ask myself this question: do I want the life God promised me, or do I just like the idea of it? Do I just like the idea of, God is going to promise me something? Because God promised us a life, of wealth, of purpose. He wants us to have purpose. He wants us to have, all these great things. But he's just not going to just give it to you. He's just not going to just be like, all right, here you go. That's not how God works. We have to work for it. We have to work for it. And yeah, I really had to check myself with that. And I really had to sit back and be like, okay, I'm being disobedient. And it's hard to say that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to say I'm disobedient. That's so hard to say. But in a way that's like, you know what? I've been disobedient. I'm tired of just sitting here and just saying I'm going to do all these things and I haven't done it at all. I'm tired of just sitting here and just waiting and waiting when the Lord, He's already planned out my future. You know what I'm saying? It's just now I have to take the precautionary steps. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we may be in the season of waiting, but don't let your season of waiting be a season of hibernation. Because sometimes we can get stuck in a season of waiting, and then it becomes a season of hibernation, and we're not doing anything to prepare ourselves for when we come out of that season of waiting. You know what I'm saying? That means staying in your word, staying prayed up, staying in community, asking for prayer, talking to the Father, continuing to equip yourself. And not only that, spiritually, but also real life. If you're starting up that business, go get that license. Go start it up. Put yourself out there. It ties hand in hand. And yeah, y'all. So with this, all that being said, me personally, and I challenge y'all to stop overcomplicating stuff, because I've overcomplicated a lot of stuff. It's just like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know. If we keep saying all of the I don't knows, we're not going to know the I do's, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But I hope y'all get what I'm saying. If we just keep saying I don't know, we're never going to know, because we already put it in our head that we don't know. So I want y'all to continue to meditate on James 2:17 of faith without works is dead. And I want you to know that planning and talking about it, you gotta keep being consistent, If you felt like you were being stuck or called out like me, hey, maybe this is your sign. Maybe stop saying that you're going to do it and start doing it. And just continue to work out with y'all. This episode was a little bit shorter than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. Hey, we're going to get back into there. I will post everything that I have said in the scripture. Yeah, y'all. I love y'all. And thank you for tuning in. We're going to keep being consistent. We are here Saturdays at 4 p.m. every Saturday, Lord willing. Lord willing, you know. I'm human, you know, sometimes we miss Saturday, but we're going to keep on going. All right. So, without further ado, I love y'all. My name is Trini, and I pray that y'all had a blessed day. Mwah. Love y'all.